So now we come to the second part. So in the second part again the spirit is coming in the second time, isn't it? The spirit is coming in the second time. Second time the spirit is coming, and then what is he saying in the second time? Yes, to sprinkle the ashes, isn't it? To sprinkle the ashes on the tree, and so that what happens? It starts to bloom. Starts to bloom. Not long after that, the good old man dreamed again, and the spirit of the dog spoke to him, telling him how the wicked people had burned the mill made from the pine tree. Then they take the ashes of the mill, sprinkle them on the withered trees, and they will bloom again. So, sprinkle the ashes so that the trees will bloom. Understood? That means blooming means coming of the flowers. The old man awoke and went at once to his wicked neighbor's house, where he found the miserable old pair sitting at the edge of their square fireplace. So what did the old couple do? He got in his dream the spirit coming and asking him to take the ashes, isn't it? Now to collect the ashes, where he has to go? To his neighbor. So he went there to collect the ashes. So when he went there, he saw the cruel farmer and his wife sitting on the fireplace. In the middle of the floor, smoking and spinning. They are sitting there and making their body warm. Same time they are doing their work also. From time to time, they warmed their hands and feet with the blades from the small bits of the mill, while behind them lay a pile of the broken pieces. So, from where they had made the fire? They had put this mortar at the mill, and the fire was made, isn't it? So, they were making their body warm, and then by the side they saw a piece of wood still lying. The good old man humbly asked for the ashes. So he did not went in great anger. Very humbly he went to that cruel neighbor and asked. Though the courteous couple turned up their noses at him and scolded him as if he were a thief, they let him fill his basket with ashes. So he very kindly, very humbly went to them. He did not show any kind of anger or anything like that, isn't it? He went to them very calmly and very softly. He asked for the ashes, and they were shouting at him because they had called him as a thief coming very slowly towards them, isn't it? And then they allowed him to collect those ashes. They did not know what to do with the ashes, isn't it? So they asked him, okay, you can take the ashes. On coming home, the old man took his wife into the garden. It being winter, their favorite cherry tree was bare. Bare means nothing, no fruits and no flowers. He sprinkled a pinch of ash on it, and lo, it sprouted blossom until it became a cloud of pink blooms which perfumed the air. The news of this filled the village, and everyone ran out to see the wonder. So, what did the old couple do? He took that basket of ashes and went home. And in his garden, there was a cherry tree which was very barren. No fruits and no flowers were there, isn't it? Because it is a winter season. And so what did he do? He took a pinch of ash and sprinkled on the tree. And as soon as he had sprinkled it, what had happened? The tree blew out and it started a sweet smell came. And then everybody came to know what had happened in his garden. Understood? On coming home, the old man took his wife into the garden. They went to the garden. It being winter, their favorite cherry tree was bare. Bare means with no fruits and leaves. He sprinkled a pinch of ash on it, and lo, it sprouted blossoms until it became a cloud of pink blooms which perfumed the air. In the textbook it is there, the picture is there, isn't it? The news of this filled the village, and everyone ran out to see the wonder. So all the neighbors from every part of his village came to his garden to see to see the great surprise. The courteous couple also heard the story. This cruel neighbor also heard the story, and gathering up the remaining ashes of the mill, kept them to make withered trees bloom. So what did they do? They started collecting all the remaining ashes. Why did they start collecting the remaining ashes? Because they wanted also to make the trees bloom. Isn't it? The kind old man, hearing this, his lord, the Daimon, was to pass along the hill high road near the village, set out to see him taking his basket of goods. As the train approached, he climbed into the old withered cherry tree that stood by the wayside. So at that time, who was coming? Daimon was coming. Who was the Daimon? Daimon? Who is the Daimon? Daimon is the landowner, isn't it? So he was coming. So the news came that he was coming. So what did he do? He took that basket of ash and went and sat near a cherry, on top of a cherry tree, and waited to see the Daimon passing by. Understood? That means when the landowner, that wealthy landowner come, everyone in that village used to gather to see the procession. Understood? The kind old man, hearing that his lord, the Daimon, was to pass along the high road near the village, set out to see him taking his basket. So he also went out to see that Daimon. As the train approached, he was coming in the train. He climbed. So when he saw the train coming, what did he do? He climbed in an old withered cherry tree that stood on the road. So by the roadside there was a old cherry tree. Because it is winter, nothing was there. So he stood on the branch of the cherry tree in order to watch the Daimon passing. Now in the days of the Daimon, it was the custom when their lord passed by for all the loyal people to shut up their high windows. So when these wealthy landlord passes by near the houses, what will the others do? They will all have to close their windows. They even pasted them fast with a slip of paper so as not to cover the inhabitant or looking down on the landlord. So nobody should watch the lord moving, isn't it? So if there any hole or anything is there left in their window or any other entrance is there, they have to close it, paste it with the paper. That means not a single hole should be seen where the people can look down to that Daimon. Understood? So that was the custom in that place. All the people along the road would fall upon their hands and knees and remain prostrate until the procession passed away. And all the people will be standing on both sides of the road with their knees and head bowed till the landlord had passed. They have to stand in the same position. Understood? So that is the respect showing by the other people. Now in the days of the Daimons, it was a custom when their lord passed by for all the royal family to shut up their high windows. They even pasted them fast with a slip of paper so as not to commit the impenitence of looking down on his lordship. That means they should not be punished, isn't it? That means no punishment should come that he is looking through that window of the hole. So everything is being pasted. All the people along the road would fall upon their head and knees and remain prostrate until the procession passed away. So all will be standing in the same position till that lying on the ground face downward. That means they should not see that landlord passing, isn't? So they have to put their head down and lie on the road till that vehicle is passed. Understood? The train drew near. So the train was coming. One tall competent man marched ahead. So one man will be going ahead the train, crying out to the people by the get down on your knees. So crying out, saying that or put your head down, get down on your knees. And even one kneeled down while the procession was passing. And that means first they have to stand on their knees. Knees means mutter. They have to stand on their knees. And when this vehicle is coming, they have to lie on the ground with their face downwards. Understood? That means they should not look at the landlord. The train drew near one tall comet. So one person will be going in front of that train, and he will be shouting, put your knees down, put your all bend down, all lie down, everything. He is giving the command, and then only the vehicle was coming after him. Suddenly the leader of the van caught sight of an aged man up in the train. So where was our old man sitting? Old couple. That old farmer was sitting on the branch of a tree, isn't it? And no other people anywhere is seen. All those who are on the road, on the side of the road, they are lying down with their face downwards, isn't it? And the windows, everything is shut. But suddenly a man noticed a man sitting on the branch of a tree. He was about to call out to him in an angry tone, but seeing such an old fellow, he pretended not to notice him and passed him by. So he got angry. That means no person should be seen, isn't it? So when he looked, he saw a old man sitting on the branch of a cherry tree. And at first he was very angry and he was about to shout. But suddenly he thought it is only an old man. And then he thought that he had never seen. So when the time was palanquin, what is palanquin? 4 people carrying and going, and he will be sitting in older times. The queens, the royal people used to go in the palanquin. Understood? The old man, taking a pinch of ash from his basket, scattered it over the tree. In a moment it burst into blossom. So when that demo was coming, that palanquin came near that cherry tree. What did he do? He put a pinch of ash on that tree, and suddenly it started to bloom and the flowers started falling where? On that palanquin. Understood? The delighted, so who became happy? The demo became happy, delighted, ordered the train to be stopped and got out to see the wonder. So suddenly he asked to stop the train, and he came out to see how it had happened. Calling the old man to him, he thanked him and ordered presents of silk robes, sponge cakes, fans, and to be given him. He even invited him to his castle. So the landlord, he became very happy, and then he called the man to come down, and he gave him many kind of presents, and also asked him to go to his castle. Castle is the palace. Castle, palace. So not only giving the present, asked him to go to the palace. So the old man went gleefully home to share his joy with his dear old wife. So gleefully means happily. So he became very happy, and he went home to say the incident to his wife. But when the greedy neighbor heard of it, again who came to know the story? The greedy neighbor came to know about the story, because about what story? That he had made the cherry plant bloom, and who got happy on that? Who became happy? The demo became very happy, and he had gifted many presents to him. At the same time, he was invited also, isn't it? So this story, again who heard? The cruel couple heard. He took out some of the magic ashes and went out on the highway. Again he also took the ashes and ran to the road where the demo was passing. Then he waited until a demo's train came along, and instead of kneeling down like the crowd, he climbed a withered cherry tree. What did he do? He also, instead of standing and watching him, he also stood on the branch of a cherry tree, because the old man was sitting on the branch of the cherry tree, isn't it? And then same he also did. When the demo himself was almost directly under him, he threw a handful of ashes over the tree, which did not change a particle. So again the demo's palanquin came near the cherry tree. What did he do? He took a pinch of ash and sprinkled on the tree, but nothing happened. The wind blew the fine dust in the nose and eyes of the demo and his wife. So suddenly the wind came, and that ash dust went in the nose of the demo and his wife. Because when the wind came, the sash started to fly, to bloom. Some such sneezing and choking. So they started sneezing and choking. It spoiled all the grove, pomp and dignity of the. So everything was spoiled by that ash. The man whose business it was to try get down on his knees, seized the old fool by the collar, dragged him from the tree and tumbled him and his ash basket into the ditch by the road. Ditch means hole. Then the person who was commanding the demo's possession, he went and caught hold of him and took everything from his hand and put it in the ditch, which is the road, pit where the dust and the garbage is being put. Then beating him soundly, he left him for dead. Then given him a number of beatings also and left him there to die. That much beating also was given. Thus the wicked old man died in the mud. So finally, who died? A cruel man died. But his kind friend of the dog dwelt in peace and plenty, and both he and his wife lived in a green old age. But now, what had happened to the old person? This cruel neighbor had died, and the other couple lived happily in their green old age. That means in their old age they were now happy and were living happily. Understood now? The old farmer is a kind person. What evidence of his kindness do you find in the first two paragraphs? That means in the first two paragraphs how we can say the old man was a kind person. That means he used to look after his pet dog like a child of his own, isn't it? He used to give him everything whatever he needed plentifully, isn't it? And even that means the fish, bits of fish and rice, how much he needed, that much is given to him, isn't it? Sufficient food was given to him, and at the same time from his plate itself he used to share it. And also when he go to the field, he used to give the grains to all the birds which comes on his way, isn't it? So that was how he was showing the kindness towards the animals. What did the dog do to lead the farmer to the hidden wood? What did the dog? It went to and fro. That means to and fro. It started moving to and fro for sometimes and making him understand that to follow him, isn't it? And took him under a pine tree. How did the spirit of the dog help the farmer? First of all, how did the spirit help him? Asked him to cut down the pine tree and make a motor for his rice pasture and a mill for the bean sauce. How did it help in a second? So that again the cruel neighbor, they borrowed the mill, the motor and the mill, and what did they do? The first time what did they do? They put it in the fire, isn't it? And burned it. Second time they burned it. How did the spirit of the dog help the farmer first, and how did it help the next? Second time asking him to that means to collect the ashes. That means where from the mortar and the mill which is being burned, take those ashes and put it on the tree, it will bloom, isn't it? That was the spirit. Second time same. Now, why did the demo reward the farmer but punish the neighbor? Why did the demo? Yes, because the demo, what did he do? When he had put the pinch of ash on the cherry tree, what had happened? It started to bloom, and that made the demo happy, isn't it? So he was given gifts as well as was invited. But second time, the cruel neighbor, when he had put the pinch of ash on the cherry tree, what happened? He did not change. Instead, a wind had come and blown all the dust into the nose of and the eyes of the demo, and they started sneezing and choking, isn't it? So the punishment was given to him. Notice that what, who, where are question words. When, why, where, which, and how. So question words are WH questions we used to say. when, why, where, which and how. So W, 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 W and H. Understood? Now read the following paragraph and frame questions. Already the paragraph is there. Anil is in school. I am in school too. Anil is sitting in the left row. So where is Anil sitting? Then you will get the answer. Anil is sitting in the left row. He is reading a book. What is Anil? What will not? Yes, what is Anil doing? Then Anil's friend is sitting in the second row. Where is Anil's friend sitting? He is sharpening his pencil. What is he doing? The teacher is writing on the blackboard. Who is writing on the blackboard? Children are writing in their copybooks. Where are the children writing? Some children are looking out of the window. Who all are looking out of the window? So these are the questions and you have to write over the space given in your textbook. Then now write appropriate question, words in the blank. Dash did you get this book? Yesterday morning. So the answer is there and now you have to complete the question by putting pen. Dash is your sister crying because she had lost her dog. So why the sister is crying? So why is the question put over there? The next one, room is this, yours or hers? It is. So two rooms are there and asking which is yours. So whose will come? Whose room is this? Then dash do you go to school? That means how are you going to school? Now who, what, when, where and which. My friends lost his chemistry book. Now he doesn't know what to do and where to look for it. There are so many toys in the shops. Nina can't decide which one to buy. You don't know the way to my school. Ask the policeman how to get there. You should decide soon when to start building your house. Do you know how to ride a bicycle? I don't remember how and when I learned it. You should know how to talk and when to keep your mouth shut. The teacher advised Anil. Then adding im or in. Im and in. First one, patient, impatient, proper, improper, possible, impossible, sensitive, insensitive, then competent, incompetent. Then again A and D. They are the articles A and D are the articles. They are called the articles. A and an are indefinite. And B is definite. So these are A is used along with the with all the consonants, and an is used along the vowels. Understood? Like that we will come. The whole exercise is over there. Then rearranging is there. Then finally the last one, write a story, and you can write a story of your own, whatever from any book, any of the books you have read. You can write a small story about it. That means the character should be there, the heading should be there,